What a week it's been for Conor McGregor. Let's start with last Saturday. Dude was drinking a lot of Coca-Cola, if you catch my drift, at the bare knuckle press conference. Like a lot of cola. We'll get into it, but the guy was babbling non-stop. Then Monday, literally days after, Conor was seen kissing some random woman and cheating on D yet again. Then later the same exact day, rapper Azalea Banks leaked Conor in the DMs, apparently, and I quote, lifting weights. And well, that weightlifting session has completely taken the world by storm, and social media was caught on fire. And to top it all off, it was Conor's birthday that same day as he turned 38. And it really wasn't a week. This multi-collision car crash of events was all in the span of just 36 hours. So let's start with hour one. We'll get into it. But of course, Conor is a piece of shit person, but what is undeniable is how electric he is on the mic and at press conferences, as he reminded us this Saturday. If you haven't seen this speech already, I would suggest watching it on YouTube, but goddamn, is he so good on the mic? I don't know if this was rehearsed. I don't know if he's reading off a prompter. I don't think so. I really do think this is straight off the dome, straight off the cola. Conor McGregor delivered this souped up speech that got me hyped for this event. He's been promoting bare knuckle better than Dana White has been promoting the UFC recently. Also in this conference, he announced that he was bringing back Mike Perry, which was hilarious as he got into his face and said something along the lines of, by the grace of the owner, which is him, that he's bringing Mike Perry back and that he'll make Mike Perry dance for him to his amusement, which I don't think we've seen somebody in sports history, period, that is that funny off the cuff. He also had to break up this hilarious face-off with Mike Perry with the heart running several miles a minute. And then for some reason, he also had to share a chair with Yoel Romero, who I guess is in bare knuckle now, which is kind of cool. But anyways, Conor was babbling nonstop while sharing a chair with another grown man. And just throughout the press conference in general, his heart had to be pounding at least 200 BPM, and he was twitching to no end. His mannerisms, his antics, his little twitches were very, very Tony Montana-esque. And in the middle of this all, I think he self-invited himself to the UFC White House event, which is sick. And just a side note and update, as I was writing the script, apparently it has been confirmed by Bare Knuckle that Conor has indeed entered the UFC testing pool again. So we might be actually seeing Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. Or what would be even funnier of a move from Conor is if he came back to fight somebody else entirely. But back to bare knuckle, of course, this isn't the first time he's brought this type of energy to the press conferences. In the past, he's claimed that he would fight under the great organization for free, which is hilarious. He's done a lot of face-offs, both facilitating them and participating in them. And of course, he screamed at the top of his lungs at every single event. And of course, all of these antics are hilarious and make for some amazing memes and clips on social media. But the sad truth is, it seems like Conor McGregor does have a problem. But before we get into these problems, a quick word from the sponsor of today's video.
Guys, it's UFC 318, but most importantly, it's Dustin Poirier's retirement. He's one of my favorite fighters and a guy that got me into the sport, so I'm extremely excited to see how he goes out. I'm going to be really sad because, of course, it's his last fight, but I'm extremely excited as well. And I think you guys are going to be also extremely excited as all new customers on DraftKings can just bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. All you have to do is use my promo code TJLovesFights when signing up. You can stay in on the action and use those $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. You can combine multiple bets together from the same fight. And if you love the thrill of live betting, DraftKings has got you covered, as betting live on in-progress fights right as they happen just adds so much more excitement to the event. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6 and have the shot to win cash prizes. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code TJLovesFights. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code TJLovesFights only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
It's super funny to see him act like this, but the dark truth is it's completely changed Conor. The old version of himself said that partying is weakness for the soul, and it seems like he can't go to work now if he's not partying, if you catch my drift. His behavior has completely changed. Do you guys remember that a month ago in Ibiza, he just randomly punched some dude in a nightclub? And as we've seen recently, his behavior outside of fighting has gotten worse. Man, I really, really feel bad for D every time one of these headlines pops up. D Devlin, his longtime fiance, was literally by his side when he had absolutely nothing, and was by his side the literal entire journey from nothing to something to everything. And despite being there since day one, as soon as Conor got the money and the cola, he switched up on his day ones. On Monday, photos were leaked of Conor and a mystery woman on a beach kissing and hanging out. And what's worse is that this is just months after Conor had lost his civil case and was forced to pay up for this. And even through that whole situation, Dee still made a post on social media that she would still be by Conor's side, just for Conor not even a year later doing this a couple days ago. Man, after all the support Dee has shown him through thick and thin and even mistakes, Conor still hasn't learned his lesson and does shit like this again. It's really, really sad, and unfortunately, not even a couple hours later, this would hit X. This now notorious picture of the Notorious One's Notorious One got leaked from female rapper Azealia Banks, who apparently got them unsolicited, and this might be the most insane picture on the planet. Unfortunately, yes, I did see the uncensored pic because it was trending, and I'll tell you right now, fellas, strapping a weight on it is not game. He also DM'd her saying, "Don't be a rat because all rats get caught," but then proceeded to DM her another picture with the now infamous quote, "lifting weights." I guess the notion of threatening her not to tell did the opposite effect, and I think that mixed with Conor's name in the headlines again for kissing a random woman hours before set Azealia off, and she released the Kraken that very same day. And the real cherry on top is that this all happened on Conor's 38th birthday, which has to be the most wild day for any person on the planet. And what's jarring is that Conor literally gives no fucks. Go to his Instagram right now and go into the comment section of his latest birthday post, and he's just straight up liking all the comments relating to the leak. Dude, he even liked a post from the UFC Instagram page, Tony Has Died, which literally said what we've all been saying and questioning why he would ever do this to his fiance. He has completely lost the plot, and I don't know if he's ever coming back. For the last couple of years now, Conor McGregor has acted like this, which kind of makes you forget that Conor McGregor used to be like this. This is the Conor we fell in love with. This Conor was disciplined, focused, literally said partying is weakness for the soul, and was committed to his girl who was by his side through it all. It's crazy that Conor has become a different person entirely. His behavior is erratic. He's constantly tweaking. He's insanely unfaithful. And besides changing metaphorically, physically, he literally looks like a different person. I mean, look at his head. It's the size of a balloon. If you put these faces side by side, mixed with the fact that these two people act entirely different, you wouldn't notice that these images are of the same person, just a couple years separated from each other. People joke online that Khabib took his soul, but I don't think this is a joke anymore. According to this case, Conor did those things just 2 months after the Khabib Nurmagomedov fight. Before this loss, we didn't have any reason to believe that Conor was unfaithful, but since then, there has been a storm of allegations, lawsuits, and of course, a literal picture evidence that Conor has been unfaithful. That Khabib loss really did take his soul. From here on out, this is all conjecture. And of course, I don't really know for sure if this is what happened to Conor and this is what he was feeling at the time, but I would imagine that back in 2017, he was more motivated than ever to return to the sport he loved and the sport that built him to who he was. Conor was probably so driven to return and get his belt back and be crowned lightweight champion again. He was talking a lot of shit in the press conferences, was extremely confident, and was probably so sure that he would get it back. And on the literal biggest stage in UFC history, not only did he not get it back, and not only did this not happen, but it didn't happen in the worst possible way. It was pretty much domination from start to finish by Khabib, and it ended with the now infamous neck crank into eagle dive. I mean, look how dejected Conor was backstage. That's a hard moment to come back from, but he tried. He got a solid win in his return over Cowboy Cerrone, but with a devastating KO loss to Dustin in the rematch, and then a broken leg in the rubber match, Conor spiraled out of control. Again, don't know for sure, but I would imagine tough losses like that mixed with the millions on top of millions of dollars he already had, led him to spiral out of control. The one thing Conor was hungry for and the one thing Conor was insanely good at was now not a thing for him anymore. On top of that, he didn't need it to provide for his family. He was making millions from Proper 12 and making movies. So much so, he was the most paid athlete in 2021, mostly off things outside of fighting. And I think after being so disciplined and so faithful to one woman for so long, led him to say, fuck it. I'm just going to enjoy all the things I didn't indulge in when I was dedicated to fighting, like partying and other women. Now that money isn't a problem and there's nothing to look forward to. Which leads us to today and the week Conor had for his 38th birthday. They say you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and that can't be more true with Conor McGregor. What do you guys think about Conor McGregor and his continued downfall? What do you think of the last week, or really 36 hours Conor has had on his birthday? And do you think Conor can ever come back? He's supposed to fight in UFC White House. I highly doubt that's going to happen, but I just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on Conor McGregor, somebody who used to be the face of the UFC and somebody that used to be so inspirational, now turning into whatever the hell this is. But anyways, thank you guys for the support and always watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.